from a golden hour. Black love, the tide that grew the flower.
Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to another episode of Distance Traumas. I'm your host, Lisa Styles. Thank you for tuning in. I pray that everyone had a safe and blessed week. If not, I hope it gets better for you. If you haven't prayed this morning or this afternoon or this evening, take a moment and say a prayer. Because believe me, prayer does changes things. All right. Let's get into it. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about you are enough. And the reason why I picked this topic is because I've went literally my whole life thinking that I wasn't enough. I'm sure I can relate with other women, even some men may feel the same way, that they are not enough. But the reason why I grew up feeling that I wasn't enough, because my mother used to tell me that I wasn't enough. Yeah, that may sound really bad, and it was. Can you just imagine being a little girl with big intentions, big hopes, and big dreams, and then out of nowhere one day, your mother stands over top of you while you're standing in the hallway and you're trying to go to your room, and she blocks me off, and she's standing over top of me, hovering over top of me, and I can literally still feel her breath. I can smell her breath, and I can feel it in my face telling me that I'm not enough, I will never be enough, I ain't shit, and I will never be shit. And, as a child, I'm like, what did I do? Like, why would you tell that to me? And I didn't understand. So I just went in my room and I sat on my floor and I cried. Because I didn't understand why my mother would tell me that. And it's like she constantly throughout the years embedded it in me. So I started believing it. And I'm like, well, if my mother is telling me this, then maybe she's right. Because, they say mother knows best. And, that's your mother. That's the person that's put in your life to protect you, supposedly. So if she's saying this, then maybe she sees something that I don't. Maybe I am a bad kid, or I don't know. But it really done something to my spirit. And as I said, growing up, she constantly told me that. And then as I got older, meeting new people, making friends, other family members, the way they used to treat me, I felt like I wasn't enough. It created low self-esteem inside of me. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I know I was a pretty girl. Don't get me wrong. I'm not ugly. Far from ugly. I may not be the best looking woman in the world, but I'm not the ugliest. And I know I'm not ugly by far. But hey, somebody probably would say that I am, because you're not everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay. But I know that I was not an ugly woman. So I just didn't understand why I wasn't good enough for people. I felt like I was invisible. I always got passed by. It seems like I always got the scraps from people, the bare minimum from people. And I would sit and see these same people give their all to other people. And they would give their all to people that they knew didn't have their best interests at heart. That they literally went through stuff with these people, and they still gave them their all. Example, my mother. I had two other brothers. My oldest brother didn't live with us. So it was just me and my middle brother. We have the same father, me and my middle brother. And I would see her nurturing him, hugging him, kissing on him, loving on him. He needed glasses. She got his glasses. He wanted to play football. She put him in football. Anything that he wanted to do, she invested in it. But when it came to me, she didn't do that. I love painting. My dad had brought me this big set with these different color crayons and markers and the color pencils. And I had made a mistake by putting a little bit of paint on the floor. Now, remind you, I only had one little rug in my floor, and that was like coming into my bedroom by my door. Other than that, I didn't have any more rugs in my floor, and it was like a hardwood, brown wood floor. And, those floors are cold. But anywho, I ended up getting just a little bit of paint on that rug. Now, it was the type of paint that you use with the water. It was like a water-based paint. So you could easily throw it in the washing machine and washed it. Instead, she stomped on my paint set and threw it in the trash. She broke all the crayon pencil, the coloring pencils and the crayons and all that and threw it in the trash. So guess what? I didn't paint anymore. I was devastated. I love writing poetry. I used to write poetry when I was little, and I always told my mother that when I get older, I'm going to write a book. Who's going to read that book? You're too stupid to write a book. Nobody's going to read that book. Thankfully, I didn't listen to her, but I did stop writing poetry. I didn't write anymore. But when I went back to college in 2011, I did publish my first book. No, I didn't get any support from my family, but that's fine. Who's really going to support you when you're, putting them on the front street for real, because my first book was a bio of myself. So, of course, it had things in there about them that they didn't like, but who cares? If you so concerned about what I'm saying, maybe you should have treated me better. But anywho, nevertheless, I recently just started back writing poetry, and I actually just published a few poetry books. Congratulations to me, pat myself on the back. But as a child, I stopped writing because of what she said. And as I got older, I'm like, why in the world did I let someone that can't even count past 20 or read any words in the old encyclopedias hinder me from something that I wanted to do? And I'm not saying that to really bash my mother, but at the end of the day, that's the truth. My mother education doesn't go past 6th grade. She did not graduate high school. She did not go to college. She used to have me and my brother read important papers that was sent to the house because she cannot read. My mother literally spelt my name wrong on my social security card. Like, how can you spell your child's name wrong and you literally gave it to them and you was the person that was responsible for how you spell the name? So I don't know how that happened. It's not, even if it was a mistake, she didn't fix it. So I literally have my wrong name spelled on my social security card. And now that I sit back and I look at that, I'm like, that is a person that I allowed to hinder me from doing something that I love. But like I said, it came from my mother. So why wouldn't I not believe my mother? But even now, at my age that I am now, I finally realized my worth. It took a while. Yeah, it took a long while. It took a while for me to step out of that low self-esteem era that I had. It took me a while to realize that I am enough. It took me a while to realize who I was. And now that I know that, woo, I wish I could go back and tell that to the 6-year-old me. If that's one thing that I wish I could do, is to go back and give that 6-year-old girl a hug, the biggest hug that I could possibly give her, a kiss, and just tell her that she is beautiful. She is amazing. She is enough. She's worthy. And if nobody else see that, just know that you are those things regardless if nobody tells you. I wish I can go back and tell my 6-year-old self that. And that is something that I really battled with, because I'm just like, why I'm not enough for people. And you give people your all. As an adult, I'm not the friendliest person, because I really don't like people. Don't get me wrong, I really don't like people, because people will let you down all the time. I tolerate people because I have to. So I'm not friendly, but I can be a great friend, if that makes sense. I don't let a lot of people in my space. I'm in a bubble. I've always been in a little bubble because of how I was brung up. But if I do let you in my space, that means I care about you, and I'm going to be that mama bear. No matter who you are, I'm going to be that mama bear. And I'm very loyal to the people that I let in my circle. But those people that I let in my circle are those people that made me feel like I wasn't enough. And it's very devastating when you give your all to people, especially ones that you love. And that's the most hurting pain there is to get hurt by people that you care about and people that you love and people that you have their best interests at heart. And you wouldn't do anything in this world to possibly hurt them. That's the worst, that's the worst pain of all. But to grow up feeling that you're not enough for people, it isolates you. It really isolates you to the point where you just don't want to be around anybody. I put on that bitch resting face for a reason. And it's like, because I have to guard myself, I have to guard my heart, I have to guard my space, because of how I've been treated. And it's unfortunate that a lot of people miss out on me, because I'm wonderful, regardless of what anybody thinks. I'm amazing. I'm a whole vibe, regardless of what anybody thinks. And if you think otherwise, then I really don't give a shit. I could care less. Because, like I said, now I know who I am. Now I know what I am. And I'm amazing. And I am that vibe. Just take the time to get to know me, and you'll see. But you have to be genuine. No more fake love. I don't accept that anymore from anyone. And I'm here to tell you, if you feel like you are not enough, you are. You are enough. You just have to dig deep down inside yourself and look at yourself in the mirror and realize who you are, regardless of what anybody has ever told you. And the crazy thing is, you be in relationships with men, and you would think that that's your partner, they love you or whatever, but it's times where I was laying right beside the enemy, because they would beat you down, tear you up, tell you that you're ugly, tell you that you're not this, tell you that you're not that. I had this one guy, my ex, and now that I realize I wasn't in love with him, I really wasn't. It was literally lust, for real. And he was a nice looking man, and I fell for that. He was tall. He was what I went for. So I went for the exterior of him. And one time we got into this argument, and he had a nerve to text, and he moved in with me. Let me just put that out there. He moved in with me, and he told me that I was just a jump off. And I said, whoa. I said, a jump off? And it kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. But then I was like, well, you moved in with this jump off, though, didn't you? And it really did hurt it did hurt my feelings, because I'm like, damn, that's how you see me? As a jump off? And now, looking back at it, he was really my jump off. Because little do he know, I was seeing somebody else when he took me out on the date and wanted to be with me. So I literally left that one person to be with him, but then at the same time, I played both of them because I had both of them at the same time. So really, you was my jump off, sir. So sometimes we just have to sit back and evaluate the things that people say to us and not let it hurt our feelings, not let it get to us. Because at the end of the day, they are really projecting themselves off of you. And they're really thinking that they're getting over on you or saying things to get under your skin. But really, it's because they are the assholes. For real, for real. And I'm not saying that to brag of that situation, but it is what it is. It is what it is. And I shouldn't even never been with him from the beginning because he was a scumbag. You know, he didn't really have nothing going for himself. But it is what it is. I went with him. So, I mean, what does that say about myself? You know, but anywho. And when I realized who I was, it's an amazing, 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 amazing thing. And I know that I'm more than enough. I've been more than enough for a lot of people. A lot of people that I allowed in my circle, they should not have had access to my circle. They should have been outside looking in. Yeah, for real. Because they really wasn't worth two damn wooden flies smashed together. Yeah. They wasn't worth a wet frog's ass. But because I had low self-esteem and I lowered my expectations and I felt like I wasn't enough, guess what? I let them in the bubble. And that's my fault. And I have to take full accountability for that and take that on the chin and take that as an L, a lesson learned. A lesson learned. Because then I didn't know who I was. Then I let the things that my mom embedded in me dwell in me. It lived in me. I let the things that people said to me that I let in my bubble dwell in me, live in me. And that's my fault. That is absolutely my fault. Because you have control over how you allow someone to treat you. You have control of what you answer to. You have control over how someone makes you feel. You do. And I allowed the words and the actions of others make me feel the way that I felt my whole entire life. But it all started from my mother. And you know, that's the sad part about it. Is that it all started from my mother. Like I said, I could still feel her breath on my face. I could still see her standing over top of me, yelling that in my face. And as she's yelling that in my face, you know how when people talk, sometimes spit comes out their mouth? I could still feel her spit on my face. And that sad little girl, I cry out for her every day. I'm 44 and I'm trying to mend that little girl inside of me. And you know, now that I know who I am and I'm happier in my life, I tend to do a lot of things that I didn't do when I was a child. I tend to still do things that I did when I was a child, but I'm happier now doing it. I still watch cartoons. I still put on my PJs, which is SpongeBob. If you know me, if you know, you know. I love SpongeBob. That's my boyfriend. I don't care what nobody has to say. Whoop-de-doo. I put on my PJs. I still sit and watch Saturday morning cartoons. I still sit and watch cartoons throughout the week. Adult Swim is my favorite. So I don't really eat cereal like that anymore because all the stuff that's in cereal. But I still do a lot of things that I did as a kid, and I do a lot of things that I wanted to do as a kid. When I go to Disney World, I am a kid. I don't care. I am hopping around there. I'm acting just like a little child. Yeah. And I'd have been to Disney World about what, 8 times, and each time it was a new kid inside of me. I'm on the merry-go-round. I'm smiling. I'm bubbly inside. I'm getting bubbles. I'm getting the little snacks. I'm getting the Mickey ears. Yeah, I'm doing it all. Yeah, I've relived my childhood. Like I literally still I wanted a dollhouse when I was little. And I'm gonna get me a dollhouse. I want those one of those old antique dollhouses with the antique furniture. I've always wanted one of them. And I begged my mom to get me one. And she did not get me one. And before I pass away, I'm gonna have to get me one of those. I've always wanted a little jury box with the little ballerina in it dancing and it makes the music. I always wanted one of those. I'm going to have to get me one of those. I had a kite. I'm going to get me a kite because I love flying kites. Like I literally relive doing things from my childhood. And it makes me feel good inside. And I don't care what anybody has to say about that. Like one time I was in this store called Shoe Show. And I was buying some shoes that had SpongeBob on it. And they were some cute little shoes. And the lady at the register, she was like, oh, these are so cute. You buying these for your daughter or someone? I said, no, I'm buying them for me. She said, how old are you? I said, I'm 40 something. Why? How old are you? And she was like, oh, you're 40 something and you wearing SpongeBob shoes? I said, you're 40. I said, and how old are you again? And she said, oh, I'm 62. I said, you're 62 and you work in Shoe Show? She got an attitude. But why? Why do you get an attitude? You in my business. What about yourself, lady? And I got my shoes and I went out there and I wear my shoes proudly. I sure do. And I don't care what nobody has to say. I have literally everything SpongeBob. I collect SpongeBob stuff. I mean, I have everything SpongeBob. Toothpaste, toothbrushes, clothes, shoes, hair accessories. I even have SpongeBob pasta. I mean, anything that has SpongeBob on it, I collect it. I have shot glasses. I have so much stuff. If they was to start buying stuff from SpongeBob, if he ever, go away or whatever and come back, or however you say that, I think I can make some money because I have a lot of SpongeBob. I have a little SpongeBob pass dispenser. Like, I have some amazing things with SpongeBob on it. And yeah, she tried to make me feel bad because I was buying me some SpongeBob shoes. Lady, you can't make me feel bad about that. Do you have any more in the back? A different design? Like, just do your job and ring this up and put this in this bag and give me my receipt. How about that? And you let a high schooler have this job. How about that? But, I don't care what people say. People be like, oh, you still watch cartoons? I sure do. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Yeah, I still do. I have Paramount. So on Paramount, they have all of the old school cartoons and even the shows like Clarissa Explains It all that. Are You Afraid of the Dark? Oh, yeah. Old school, 80 baby. Yeah. If you're an 80s kid, you know about all those old school shows. Snorks, the Snorkels. Yeah, all that. I still watch all that. I sure do. Actually, I have them on record. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't feel bad that I watch cartoons. Like, I was dating this older guy. I was in my 20s and he was in his 40s. Don't talk about me. Don't judge me. Judge your mama. I used to only date older men. Yes, I know I didn't need to be with the older guy. But, hey, it is what it is. And one day I was watching cartoons and he came in the house and he was like upset that I was watching cartoons. I'm like, if you don't take your old lettuce eating bad breath, laundry sock, no having ass, and get out my damn face some damn where and go watch you some westerns. And he used to get mad every time I watch cartoons. And he'll go outside and sit outside. I don't give a fuck what you do. I'm still gonna watch my cartoons. But guess what? My husband that I have now, you know what he does? watch them with me. He loves watching cartoons. He be in his PJs, and sometimes we be about to get ready and go out for the day or whatever, and we will have the cartoons on, and I'm literally ready, and I'm downstairs ready to walk out the door, and I'm like, babe, what are you doing? He's still upstairs on the bed getting himself ready, but he's into the cartoon. I will have to pull him out the room several times because he got his face glued to the TV watching the cartoons. So he's worse than me. Every time we go to Disney World, he just lets me be me. He lets me be a kid. And he just records me, and he just be smiling. Even when I still have my DVD of the Garbage Pail Kids. And I have a VCR with all my old schools. Yeah, don't talk about me, talk about your mama. I still have a VCR with the DVD player attached to it. Yes, and every time I watch the Garbage Pail Kids, as nasty as they may seem, I sit there as bubbly as all outdoors because that's a part of my childhood, and I loved the Garbage Pail Kids at that time. And the show, Not the Mama, the Dinosaurs, I still have that DVD, and I watch that faithfully, and I laugh every time when he hit daddy on top of the head and say, not the mama. Yes. So I don't care what anybody has to say about me living out my childhood. I don't care. Maybe you should try it. You may feel better about yourself at the end of the day if you try it. Laugh a little. But I know who I am. And as I said, I'm amazing. And I am enough. I am a beautiful black woman. That's who I am. And if you don't see the worth in me, shame on you. Oh well, guess what? Somebody else will. And if nobody else will, God knows. And that's the most important person, is God. Yes. So as long as he knows, he made me. So he know who I am. He made me who I am. But he was just sitting back waiting until I realized who I was. I was a little late. But guess what? I made it across the finish line. So as I said, if you feel the same way too, and you feel like you're not enough and people's telling you that you're not enough, you are. They're not enough for you. That's the thing. And they know that they're not enough for you. So as I said, they project that onto you. And that's one thing that my husband does. He makes me feel that I'm enough. He shows me that I'm enough. He treats me as if I'm enough. And he handles me with care. And I love that he does that. He doesn't judge me. He lets me be me. This is the first relationship that I've been in where I can literally be myself. Where I can take my wig off and show my edges, and he still makes me feel beautiful. So yeah, you have to find somebody that you could be your 100% authentic self. And he allows me to do that, and he still tells me that I'm beautiful. It's been times where I've been in relationships where I couldn't be that, where they never seen my true 100% authentic self. I always had to be dolled up. I always had to be a certain way. I always had to have on a certain thing just to make them feel good. Fuck that. And then they sitting over here looking like a Oompa Loompa. Looking like a space cricket. And I'm sitting over here all dolled up at 10 o'clock at night. What the fuck? Hell no. I'm in a muumuu or I'm naked, titties out, wig off. No makeup, which I don't wear makeup like that anyway. I don't wear eyelashes because I feel like they just need to discontinue them damn eyelashes sitting around looking like a tarantula. I don't wear those. I can be myself. I don't have to have my nails done. I don't have to have them polished. He doesn't care about all that. But guess what? I do that stuff for me. Not for anybody else. I do that for me. When I feel like doing that. And that doesn't mean that I have to do that to be pretty or to feel pretty, because I don't need makeup. Thank God. Some people need makeup to look pretty. I don't. I don't need to have a wig on my head to look pretty or to feel pretty. I don't have to have nails on or my nails polished to feel pretty or to look pretty. Those are accessories. But I do those things to enhance my beauty. I do those things because I want to, because I like them. So that's the difference. I don't do that for anybody else. I do that for me. I remember I was 300 pounds a few years ago because I have PCOS. And if you know anything about PCOS, you have a hard time losing weight. And I was gaining a lot of weight and I couldn't get rid of it. And when I finally found out that I had PCOS, I'm like, okay, I got to do something. And I finally decided to go get weight loss surgery. And when I went and got the weight loss surgery, I ended up losing half of my weight. So now I'm down 144. And one of my husband's associates asked him, he says, "Oh, I see your wife, she looking good. She lost a lot of weight. What, you made her lose weight?" My husband said, "What the fuck?" He said, "No, I didn't make her lose weight. He said she got weight loss surgery because she wanted to." My husband loved me when I was 300 pounds. I was like, "What? Did you make me get the weight loss surgery to lose weight? Nigga, are you dumb?" So no, I did that for health reasons. Because I had to do something for health reasons, for health purposes. And I'm glad that I did. At first I was like, I want my stomach back. But now I feel good, I look good. And I did that for me. I did that because I had to. So I didn't do that to make my husband love me more. No. No. Or I didn't do that to impress someone. I don't give a fuck what nobody think about me. I don't care now what you think about me, how you feel about me. If I don't look good to you, or if my body not the way it should be, I don't have a BBL, my body ain't a Buffy the Body, I don't give a fuck about that. I don't care about that. My body is the way that it looks. And I think it looks damn good. And if you don't want to look at it, then close your motherfucking eyes and walk into a pole. Okay? Because your body probably don't look good either. Your body probably look like a bag of potatoes or a bag of loaf of bread. Well, not a bag of loaf of bread. That don't make sense. But a loaf of bread. Or some busted beans. And if your body do look good, congratulations to you. Kudos. You probably got a bad attitude or bad characteristics about yourself. Or your feet stink. I don't know. I don't care how your body looks. And you shouldn't either. You know, I see a lot of women out here getting their bodies done and all this to make a man want them, and can't keep a man over 6 weeks. Can't keep a man over 6 weeks. But guess what? I've been with my man going on 13 years. And half of those years, I was a big bitch. Excuse me. Bitch is beautiful, intelligent, talented, caring, and humorous. That's my definition of bitch, not a four-legged dog. Okay? Beautiful, intelligent, talented, caring, and humorous. But yeah, I was a big girl. Big girl. And my husband loved every inch of it. But now he loves it even more because now he can pick me up and flip me and turn me upside down and bend me up like a pretzel. He couldn't do that at first. He could just bend it a little bit. But, yeah. So now, we could do a lot of tricks. Hang from chandeliers and shit. So, and I ain't never had no problem getting no man even before I met my husband. So I ain't had no problem with that. And when I was, a little bit bigger, my self-esteem was a little low. Yeah. But that was something that was inside of me. Once again, that was my fault for allowing that. But not no more. Not no more. Because I know who I am. Yeah. And as I said, if someone has made you feel like you're not enough, fuck them. Because like I said, 9 times out of 10, they are not enough for you. And the fastest that you realize that, the happier you will be. So if somebody made you cry by telling you that you're not beautiful, that you're not enough, wipe those tears and look in the mirror and realize who you are. Whether you are a man, realize who you are. Because there's women out here that beat up men and have men having low self-esteem. It's not just women. Men have feelings too. And we need to realize that men have feelings too. That's why I try to uplift my husband. I tell my husband all the time, you're handsome. I love you. I'm proud of you. I tell him that on a daily basis. Because he is. He's amazing. And the sad part about it, I wish his family would realize that. But they make him feel less than. Yeah, so it's not just women. It's men too. That can feel that way. But I assure him every day, you are a king. And I love you. Yeah. So, brush your shoulders off. Cry for a day if you got to cry for a day. Cry for a night if you got to cry for a night. But after that, fuck that. And realize who you are. And stand in it. 10 toes down. 10 toes down. I love you. God loves you. And realize who you are. Realize who you are. You are that girl. You are that man. Well, I should say that woman, not girl. You are that woman and you are that man. And I hope you realize that sooner than later. Sooner than later. But I'm going to end this episode with that. And as always, after each episode, I always end in an email and a scripture. And I always give out my email just in case you want to send a message, a friendly message. You want to tell me about your story. You want to leave a comment. Or you just want to say hi. That email is Distant Traumas with the S. Podcast.com. That's Distant Traumas with the S. Podcast.com. Today's scripture is Philippians 4:6-7. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplications with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And the understandings will guard your hearts and your mind in Jesus Christ. Ashe. But until next time, be safe, be blessed, and don't forget to say a prayer, because prayer does change things. And also, remember, you are enough. Until next time, bye!
Black woman, yes, I love you. Black, light, dark, blended, every kind of you. Soft, strong, a fragile life that keeps the world from ending. Yeah. Your complexity still a mystery. I am curious instantly. Oh, understood. Hey, you are me, black woman. You did good. Hey, black woman, I love you. Yes, I love you. Ooh, lion. Yes, often underestimated, always the greatest. Like one.